Until about 10 days ago, the men building the main road between Downpatrick and Ballynahinch found themselves in difficulties here at Annacloy, because you see, the site of the proposed road ran across exactly the emplacement of a celebrated fairy thorn. Well, their problems and the fairy thorn disappeared overnight, you might say. And I wonder what the people in Annacloy think of this loss.
We were all very much annoyed about it. My little girl came running in and says, "Oh, Mommy, the fairy thorn's away." And I came running up as fast as I could, and they were just trailing it down the rock there, just like a piece of dirt. So we felt very strong about it being removed, such a mean, sleeky way of going around by getting it removed. And as Mrs. Rogers of Annacloy, in the shop here, she had arranged that we were going to have a twisting party around the tree, and we were intend to have good fun and good laughs around the fairy thorn before it was going to be removed.
Have you ever seen a fairy yourself?
No, I didn't, but my mother has saw one in her young days. She is now a woman of 88 years of age, and she often tells us at the fireside at night that she was working, a young girl, in this house, and her master was an invalid sitting by the fire. She saw this little body coming up the road dressed in red, and she hid behind a door. She was frightened of it.
What happens to people who cut down fairy thorns?
Well, apparently this man has got a bad strain, strained himself so badly that he's dead now.
And
since he removed the fairy thorn.
what happens to people that take fairy thorns down?
Oh, because that's rather an awkward question, what they had to do. What happens to them? I suppose they'll go to hell, I don't know. There'll be no heaven for them, I would think.
But do you not think it's a pity to see an old landmark disappear?
Couldn't care less about it.
And you would pull one down yourself?
Yeah, I would. If it was well enough paid for it, I would pull it away.
In spite of what you hear happens
yeah,
to
in spite
people?
of what I heard, I would take the chance on it.
In spite of the skepticism of the younger generation, I'm glad to be able to tell you that the funeral of the fairy thorn was well attended. There were, I am told, no fewer than 2 council lorries to remove the remains. There was a County Down ambulance. There were 14 private cars. There was a post office van. There were 2 local photographers and 1 official photographer from a newspaper. And the road was packed with local sightseers. In spite of all this, I'm equally told that the funeral was private, according to the County Down Rural Council.